Hi friends, here I am with a new episode of Ritu's Tiny Tidbits. Today I'll be talking to you about some fantastic creatures that roamed the earth millions of years ago. Yes, dinosaurs. You must be familiar with dinosaurs from the movie Jurassic Park and its sequel. However, all of the dinosaurs in these movies are not real. Some are hybrids such as Indominus Rex and Indoraptor. I'm talking to you about the real ones, which is one of my favorite topics. We came to know about dinosaurs from fossils that paleontologists have dug up from around the world. Do you know who a paleontologist is? A paleontologist is one who studies the history of life on Earth from fossils. So, let's have some fun with dinosaurs.
So, let's start. In this video, we'll be discussing about the timeline of dinosaurs. This is how our Earth evolved over time. 12.5 billion years ago, the universe was formed following a Big Bang. Then 4.6 billion years ago, the solar system and Earth were formed. And thereafter, the Earth began its journey to the way it is today. Asteroids and comets brought water to the Earth, but it also broke the young Earth's forming crust. The first animals lived underwater. This early phase is known as Precambrian period. The Earth's history after that is divided into three eras. The first known as the Paleozoic era, the second one Mesozoic era, and the third one known as the Cenozoic era. Every era is further divided into periods. After the Precambrian period came the Cambrian period, when there was a huge burst of new life called the Cambrian explosion. Then came the Ordovician period, when the first kinds of fish were formed. The Silurian period, when plants spread onto land. The Devonian period, when fish began developing into new forms and amphibians came into being. The Pennsylvanian and Mississippian periods, which are collectively known as the Carboniferous, when the giant insects and giant trees flourished. And finally, the Permian period, when mammal-like cold-blooded animals called pelycosaurs were there. One good example of a pelycosaur was Dimetrodon. At the end of the Paleozoic era, there was a mass extinction that was the biggest one in Earth's history that was called the Permian Triassic extinction or PT extinction. After that extinction came the Mesozoic era, which is the era of the dinosaurs. We'll be talking about that later. Then came the Cenozoic era, which is divided into the Tertiary period, which is the collective name of the Paleogene and Neogene periods, when mammals thrived and reached giant sizes. Then finally, we are now in the Quaternary period, which is the age of man. Now we'll be talking about the era of the dinosaurs. In the Paleozoic era, the first reptiles came. Dinosaurs evolved from them. After the PT extinction, there were still some reptiles that lived alongside the dinosaurs, such as Ephygia and Postosuchus. The Mesozoic era was divided into Triassic period, which lasted 251 to 200 million years ago, when the first dinosaurs such as Plateosaurus and Coelophysis appeared. And at the end of it, there was a mass extinction that wiped out all the life in the Triassic. And then came the Jurassic period, which lasted 200 to 145 million years ago, when the giant dinosaurs such as Brachiosaurus and Apatosaurus and the first birds such as Archaeopteryx appeared, which is said to be a link between a dinosaur and a bird. Then finally came the Cretaceous period, when the most famous dinosaur, which is also my favorite, Tyrannosaurus appeared. At the end of the Cretaceous period, there was a mass extinction that wiped out all the dinosaurs. Here are some other dinosaurs that lived in these periods. The major dinosaur life in the Triassic period alongside Plateosaurus and Coelophysis were Herrerasaurus and Eoraptor. Then came the Jurassic period, which saw the development of these giant dinosaurs, Apatosaurus, Brachiosaurus, and Stegosaurus. As mentioned before, the first bird, Archaeopteryx, lived in this period. The other ones were Compsognathus and Lesothosaurus, and the major carnivores in this period was Allosaurus and Ceratosaurus. Then came the Cretaceous period, which is divided into early Cretaceous period, which saw the development of ornithopods such as Iguanodon. Then other dinosaurs such as Hypsilophodon, Psittacosaurus. The little carnivore in that period was Deinonychus. And in the late Cretaceous, the equivalent of Deinonychus came, Velociraptor. And there was some other dinosaur life in this period too. As known as the zenith of the dinosaurs, the most dinosaur life was in this period, such as Triceratops, Oviraptor, Pachycephalosaurus, Protoceratops, Troodon, Ornithomimus, Euplocephalus, Parasaurolophus, Shantugosaurus, and Labiosaurus. As said, Tyrannosaurus lived in this period. With this, I am concluding this video about the timeline of dinosaurs. In the next one, I will be talking about the classification of the dinosaurs. So till then, thank you and bye.